Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Design Duo. Today we have our guest speaker, Letesha, with us. And she's not really a guest because she's part of our family here at Design to Sell. She is our commercial estimator and also our warehouse manager, we call her. But our topic today is going to be all about new trends that we're seeing in new construction homes. And so we are sitting in our beautiful conference room that we're so happy to have. And we're so close to it being completed, but we've been able to have a few meetings in here and it's been amazing. I don't know why we didn't do this room years ago, but we wanted it, we've needed it. And so welcome. I'd invite you all to come on in and check it out. Really, I'm thinking that I'd like to offer it up to different groups. If you want to have meetings here, you can sit about 9-10 people comfortably.
It's a perfect commercial space and you got everything that you could possibly need.
Yep. Exactly. So, Letesha, why don't you give us a little bit of your background in what you do commercial-wise?
Sure. Okay. So like Sky said, I do commercial estimating. So I'm going to take a look at floor plans and do all the takeoffs, mainly for commercial tile, but for resilient carpet tile, those things as well, and send the bid out to contractors. So that's typically what I do in a day here at Design to Sell, as well as, like Sky said, keeping an eye on that warehouse.
She's like, get your stuff out of here. And it might not be the word stuff, but but there's no room for the forklift, and we just crack up over here. But if she's not doing it, nobody else is doing it, so it needs to get done. So with that being said, let's transition into these new construction trends, because believe it or not, there's still people building, even with the interest rates the way that they are. There's still people building. We're still seeing that. And let's just list off a few things that maybe people aren't aware of, or give them a little inspiration for a new construction.
Yeah. The first one I would say is like hidden pantries. I think is huge. It's become something that people love to add that custom feeling to their home, but in a kitchen where you have a lack of space for storage anyways, creating an area like a little walk-in closet, but making it look like a cabinet. So it's really hidden.
So it's like a full-size cabinet door. I love those too.
Yeah.
Obsessed. If I could build, I'd definitely do that. Nice. That you open up, you have no idea that there's actually like a room behind there, which is like a hidden pantry, like Roxanne said. And the pantries are more so like a big walk-in pantry then. So
it's becoming less of where you keep your spices and more of where you keep your countertop appliances, maybe your air fryer, that kind of thing. And then also having a secondary sink to wash your dishes. So that way when you're entertaining, maybe it's a place where you can just kind of stow that stuff away. And if you're really fancy, you have an extra dishwasher, which I love.
Yeah. Obsessed. And you keep your extra fridge in there too. So that could be like your beverage fridge, or when you're entertaining, you don't have room in your main fridge. You always got to have 2 refrigerators. So.
And talking about the fridges, I think the paneled refrigerators are super cool. Yes. They look so nice.
Absolutely. Hide that fridge. Although some appliances are super beautiful right now. Roxanne's been really into the cafe style refrigerators.
Yes.
Like white with the gold handles. But paneled appliances in general look really, really nice. Dishwashers, refrigerators, and it hides them also. So it's a good one. Definitely.
Okay. Do we want to move on to the next?
Okay.
His and hers bathrooms, completely separate bathrooms from one another. And maybe they're separated in a master suite by like a walk-in closet or a walk-through closet. I think this is super handy. Like right now, my boyfriend and I currently have separate bathrooms in the house and they're completely opposite of one another. It's not new construction, but it just functions for us better. So I can totally see if I were to build a new construction house, I'd probably have 2 bathrooms.
2 bathrooms. Yeah. Or 2 bedrooms. So I just actually recently finished a new construction home, that same kind of concept, but it was 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and then 2 closets. So you essentially walk down this hallway, open up the door like you're going into a bedroom, but then you walk down and there's a closet on the left, closet on the right, another bathroom on the right. But then at the end of the hallway, you can go left or right into 2 separate bedrooms. So his and hers bedrooms, which is more of a common thing. And I have to say, let's take a quick vote here. If you were going to build a home, is that something that you would do? Because honestly, I love the idea. Even I snore, so I'll admit that straight up. But my husband snores a little bit, not as much as I do. But I would love to be able to just sprawl out and have my own space. King size bed isn't even big enough for me. I need lots of space. I put a pillow on one side, another pillow on the other side, and if I could just, sneak over there occasionally, and then have my own space. I mean, let's be real. We're seeing more and more of that.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be opposed to it, to be completely honest. I feel like also too, whenever you have different work schedules or whatever it may be, it's just nice to have the ability to like have your own separate little dojo. You can do.
I thought
your
you
own
were
thing.
a cuddler though.
I am a
Like,
cuddler, but
I'm
also
not a cuddler.
I don't want my dog all up in my grill either. Like if I could have a little dog house that was separate, dog room, I would totally.
So
do
you
that.
would do 2 separate bedrooms.
I would, but I would say, you know what? We're having a sleepover tonight.
Okay.
On the days where
Okay.
I was like, no, I want to cuddle.
Okay. You teach.
I think I'm kind of up in the air. I mean, I would consider it. I think I would get better sleep. Like I'm a no TV, no light, no
Same.
noise kind of person. And my boyfriend is not. But also that's just kind of like our time at the end of the night to be together. So I'm kind of up in the air on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a good one. Definitely a good one. For sure. Another thing that we're doing, I'm going to go over to the kitchen for a minute. Okay. So obviously let's talk about now in new construction homes, we're seeing less dining room tables and more larger kitchen islands to replace the dining room tables. So how do you guys feel about that? I'm going to give my personal opinion. I really like having a separate dining room table because of entertaining. I feel like it does give a little bit more of a formal feel.
Yeah.
Our everyday setting is at our kitchen island when we're having dinner, but when I want to do something special, it's nice to have that separate dining room area. But some people just don't have the space.
Right.
Well, for me personally, I love fine dining, or at least having the ability to create like a table setting and set all the dishes and the glasses and everything like that. So for me, I would never build a house to sacrifice having the space to have a dining room because it's just something really special for me. However, on a day-to-day basis, I would get a lot more function out of a kitchen island being more of like a breakfast nook, just sitting, having coffee and eating a normal meal.
How about you guys? Where do you guys eat dinner?
I think it would definitely be an island. We're more of a casual family. I think having the island or even those houses that have 2 big islands now, I think that's awesome. You're kind of all gathered in the same area. You're cooking and all your friends and family can hang out with you. So I think
the 2 big islands is a big thing too. I love that if you have the space to do it again. But it's nice because you can lay out the food for one for a buffet area and then eat
Separate
at the other
them.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Love that. Back to the 2 dishwasher thing.
Yes.
I want to talk about what I recently just did in my own home is with 2 kids and family of 4 and bedding and everything else. There's just so many clothes. I decided to purchase 2 washers and dryers. So putting those in and being able to do that, you know, having put 2 loads in at a time, it's amazing.
Yeah. I wish I had that. And I only have one other person in my house, but he does drywall. So all of his stuff is just, you know, we don't wash our clothes together. So for me, if I could have a separate washer and dryer, that
his
would be
own
amazing.
personal
Yeah,
work clothes, washer and dryer.
Yeah,
But I think for
same
a
with
lot
the
of people-
dishwashers.
Yeah.
The dishwasher is always full.
Always.
Always full, and that's the most annoying thing. It's one of my least favorite chores is emptying the dishwasher. I'll load it because I'm really anal about how it gets loaded because I can fit
Me
a lot
too.
in there.
I can fit a lot in a dishwasher.
So if my husband's throwing stuff in there, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like nails on a chalkboard because it's just like there's a bowl on top and a bowl on bottom, and I'm like, no, they all go up here and they all go also like this, and I can fit a lot in here. But I have seen quite a few homes now too with 2 dishwashers, one on each side of the sink. And how great is that for entertaining when you have dirty dishes and you can just run them through, throw them in there, and you're good to go.
I think it's super, super smart. And people are getting more accustomed to like living the lives where they're like, let's take the effort out of all of these things that take up so much time in our lives. And when we're home and we're entertaining or we're enjoying our space, we don't want to spend all of our time cleaning and doing all the dishes and the laundry and everything like that. I mean, make it work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, I think convenience is a big thing too that you're thinking about building a home, or maintenance on materials like you know, your countertops or your siding. You want maintenance free.
For sure. The simpler the better. I've decided to is just living life as simple and make it as easy as possible, right?
Yeah,
so that's why I
agreed.
also love the one level living. Personally, everything's one level. You don't have to go downstairs, wash the clothes. Even if you are able to just get your washer and dryer up on the main floor where your bedrooms are, it's just night and day. Or like I said, having 2. Maybe you have one in your master closet, which we've been seeing quite a bit of.
Oh, yes.
And then just one main one for your rest of your family.
The common rooms. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So, and then let's talk about the tones that are becoming more popular because we've been seeing all the beige and the warmer tones and the browns coming back. And actually that really makes me happy because
it makes me so happy. I'm not a gray girly by any means. I love like pumice and like this kind of color of warm gray stone.
Earthy,
natural. But the time where we had all the cool grays everywhere and it was just, I don't know.
I
it
didn't
wasn't
mind
me.
the gray. I did do the whole gray wall thing and I did really like them. But I also was always wanting to like mix the warmth in. So we had like gray walls with the caramel colored couch and like brown wood floor. So just mixing the two, but when it's so much gray on gray on gray on gray,
yes,
very cold feeling.
Very, very cold. I remember how many years ago was that super popular? Like 6 or 7 years ago?
Yeah, and it's fading out. We don't even have hardly any gray wood flooring or vinyl planking samples in our showroom anymore.
Our vendors come in and then they're scaling back all of our displays and they're like, well, we're getting rid of all these super, super dark woods and we're getting rid of all these super, super gray ones and we're bringing in all these natural tones. And I feel like that's kind of where everything is going.
Yeah,
sure.
Absolutely.
With cabinetry too, I think, the wood looks are coming back in.
Yes, which I'm happy about that too. But I like mixing them. So like if you had a mixed kitchen like Bella's currently got, or like this railing that we've got here in the conference room is mixed between the warm tones and then the painted tones and adding more interest. So definitely that's a good one. Bringing in those warm stains.
Another one that I would add to what's become more of a trend in new construction homes or even remodeling, I would say, is people are getting a little bit more refined on the style of doors that they're doing. It used to be that they were all, kind of like the craftsman style, one's like more square at the top and 2 rectangles on the bottom with a little style that split them. And now I see people who are doing like 4-panel, more modern style doors. They're doing glass panels.
A lot of flat panel, right?
A lot of flat panel,
not
a
so
lot
much
of
raised.
simple. Yes.
Yep.
And I think that's super, super cool. And that goes hand in hand with what you're saying, Letesha, with the wood tones, because a lot of people are transitioning from all painted trim and all painted doors to maybe mixing like white trim with stained doors. And I absolutely love the look of that.
Love the look of that. And you can't go wrong with white trim in general just because you can do any wood tone then. You don't feel like your furniture has got to be all the same tone and fighting each other and all the things. So I think the white trim is going to stick around for quite a bit. I don't foresee that going anywhere, as well as white countertops, really. I mean, they really brighten up a space. They're easy to clean. They're so nice. They don't show dust. And
it's the classic that will never go out of style.
Agree.
Sure.
But let's talk about this farmhouse style, because I feel like that's like totally should have been gone. Should have been gone. At least 5 years ago, Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Yep.
Bless their hearts. I love them.
Yep.
But they brought this in, right? And now it's just like, okay, I see more of the mid-century modern.
Absolutely.
More of punches of color, right? And emerald greens. And it doesn't have to be a wild color like a red or an orange or anything like that, but like burnt orange, emerald green, navy blue, or things like that. More of that coming into play. More mid-century modern, a little bit more modern style. It takes us up here in Minnesota a little bit more time
to catch up with the trends.
Catch up with the trends and the coast. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? The style change?
I'm here for it.
I love color. Yeah, I'm all for color. I think it's been so monochromatic and everything's been so neutral, and it's been like, let's add texture with only shiplap, and we're do a soft gray, and we're gonna do, and like rustic, and it's like, okay, let's mix styles. I love eclectic style, and I love that the mid-century modern is kind of a nod to that. You don't have to do one specific colorway. You can add, like you said, burnt orange. You could do emerald green. You could have stained doors and black trim, and there's just so many things that you can do that are interesting.
Yeah, and like mixed furniture and bedroom sets. Like love that new trend too, because it's almost like a sin now to do matching bedroom furniture and living room furniture and dining room table with the same color chairs and everything else. So
the matching
great
is
change.
Going away.
It's fun.
Yep. It's definitely fun, and seeing furniture evolve too in these new construction homes in general is when like you go from the big old lazy boy recliners to something that's a little bit more sleek but still comfortable. And I think that's what we definitely offer at Allure is just style and comfort, which is going to keep trending.
Absolutely.
And touching on that, like lighting. So I was reading an article the other day that was talking about ceiling fans are going out and people are bringing chandeliers into their living room and, the recessed lighting. Yeah.
Oh man, I hate when a client tells me, I think I want to keep that ceiling fan. And I'm like, oh, it's so painful. But I get the functionality of it. I personally would rather set one of those like fan towers on my floor
Yes.
and have a ceiling fan. But I know ceiling fans have gotten a little bit better, but I'm definitely all for the.
How do you guys feel about fandeliers?
No.
Nope.
It's another way to try to make a ceiling fan look pretty.
Yeah.
And it
really
just
not.
doesn't work for me.
No.
If I have a ceiling fan, there are some pretty ones. I prefer the ones without the lights in them for one, but like the wood blades that are kind of stylish. I really like those a lot. And then just adding like the disc lights around it if you need some better lighting in your space.
I agree.
Essentially. But I get it with the tall peak ceilings where a fan would be needed to push that heat down. And there's different situations, right? But I love a good chandelier in the middle of a bedroom.
Yeah. Wow factor for sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a second too, because I feel like an 8-foot high ceiling, it's super hard to have a light fixture in there just because like when you're making your bed, if it's too low, you're going to hit it, that kind of thing. But with new construction, especially, people have been going higher on their ceilings, which I absolutely love. Like even doing 10, 12 foot ceilings, 9, if you can only get 9 foot, great. 10 or 12.
Yeah, you can still do a lot with 9-foot ceiling.
Yeah.
Even an 8-foot ceiling, like another way you could do that is I'm currently working on a project where we're doing a drop down pendant on each side of their bed above their nightstands.
Sure.
So instead of doing a table lamp, maybe that's where you drop a couple lights from the ceiling.
Yes.
You know, but there's always clever ways to do it and to mix that ambiance lighting in. For sure.
But higher the ceilings, I think the more kind of like grand it feels. Like in here, do you remember what our ceilings are? Like
these are like 12.
12, yeah. And it just makes it feel regal. Like you walk in and it's grand and you're like, oh gosh, this is amazing. You can look up and add architectural features to the ceiling. Like right now we have shiplap, we have crown molding, we have these beams, and it adds the layers of the interest
and
factor.
We're seeing more of that in new construction homes too.
Yes.
People are really starting to actually think about their ceilings, whether it's a coffered ceiling or beams on the ceiling. We're seeing a ton of beams. I don't think those are going anywhere anytime quick either. I love it. I love personally doing the shiplap on the ceiling, the texture. It doesn't have to be white, everybody. It can be black with brown beams. In fact, that's what we've got in Megan's office too. So
And the cost factor of that, let's just talk about that for a second. I mean, it's a small upcharge, I would say, in comparison to what it would cost you to have sheetrock, tape textured, painted by the time you do like a single finish shiplap.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, why not do the upgrade if you're going to spend a little bit more, do an investment in something that's going to speak volumes to the interest of your home. I would love to do shiplap instead of just sheetrocked on the ceiling.
I love a good crown molding.
I love a crown molding. It looks so finished.
It really does.
Yeah.
And I know we're talking about new construction, but I think that's a great way also to cover up those popcorn ceilings. Like I know I have those at home. I do not like them.
Totally. It's so worth it to do that. Absolutely. And we do that quite a bit, honestly, is cover up those popcorn ceilings by doing some shiplap, because like Roxanne said, by the time that you scrape everything, which is a huge mess, and then reapply a new
You're going to have to
texture.
skim your ceiling if you're scraping your popcorn off anyways. Like there's just
it never looks right.
No, it never looks right. And it's messy.
Yeah.
Yep.
100% it's messy. So back to the bathrooms for a minute, because the freestanding tubs versus one of my biggest pet peeves now, and maybe because we did so many of them before, what is like a drop-in tub. Okay.
Well, the tile
I would
around
much rather prefer
everything.
a free, a mounted in tub, but then tile above with a fiberglass face. But those drop-in tubs, it's like, oh, please don't. I do like the undermount tubs though. Like if you can do like a quartz top and then undermount the tub.
I do like that.
But the drop-in tubs with all the tile and the silicone, it's like a drop-in sink essentially, where the crap just builds up around that silicone edge and like, ugh, nasty.
Well, that's how I feel about the jetted tubs too. Like they get so gross. I love a good freestanding tub.
Can I tell a story quick about a jetted tub?
Oh boy.
If you might think, oh, this jetted tub's going to be great and all this stuff, but if you're not using it on a practically every other day basis, what happens is the water sits in the lines and it builds up this black mold. So I moved into this house and I was super excited to use this. Ooh, a jetted tub. And so what I do, I get ready, I pour myself a bath, and I'm getting ready to get into this bath, and I get in and I push the jet button, and boom, black mold starts spitting at me everywhere. I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I jumped out of there so quick. I was like, I'm never using that thing again. Needless to say, we ended up ripping it out and doing a fiberglass faced tub, right? Okay. Yeah. So
with
it's
no jets.
so worth it. No jets. Absolutely no jets. I'll get a hot tub before I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Yeah, never doing that again. But the freestanding tubs are so pretty. And back to this new construction house where it was the his and hers bedrooms.
Yeah. Yep.
She had a separate freestanding tub in her bedroom in the corner overlooking the lake. It was gorgeous.
Oh,
wow.
That's a dream.
Even the clawfoots, like, so pretty.
Yeah. I would say in new construction homes too, what's become a lot more popular is like wet rooms. Mm-hmm. So you have your shower that's completely tiled floor to ceiling everywhere. And then your freestanding tub is located inside of your shower.
Yeah.
How do you feel
I've done
about
one of those.
that?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
She did that, and so did Bella's building one of those too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I personally would want it out of the shower myself.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd want it out of the shower. I'd want it like below a window or, something like that. A little bit more airflow and less claustrophobic feeling.
Yeah.
Even with glass, for me, I like it, but it's not for me personally.
I think I'm the opposite. I think I would want the steam from the shower on while I'm in the tub, nice and warm, because you get cold in the tub,
Yep.
as hot as you can make the water. You still get a little chilly, whatever is not submerged in the water. So I think I'm on board with that
concept for sure.
I'm really torn. There is a style of a bathroom that I worked on many, many years ago whenever I was in South Carolina, and I went and did a walkthrough of the house when it was completed, and I was so in love with it. I think to this day, if I were to build a new construction home, that's how I would do it. But you walk in, there's a his and hers vanity on opposite sides, and there's a big single panel window, and the tub is sitting right underneath that with a chandelier.
Yeah,
and
you can't do a chandelier in the shower.
Very true.
You can't. There's some ways around it, but that would be my ideal. I would like to have a separate.
So it's separate.
Yeah,
same.
I would do
I think it's
separate.
more of a grander statement if it's by itself.
Yep.
Totally agree on that. That's a good question. I mean, I like them both ways, honestly. They both serve their purpose, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go in my shower to take a tub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that
I feel like also
to take a bath?
longevity wise, I do question a little bit how clean it could be, like back behind the tub area, like how you're gonna get back in there.
Yeah, I think you want to leave room to be able to get back
to
there.
clean that.
Yeah, of course, but also it's like, I don't know.
If you're lucky enough, maybe you have a cleaner.
Yeah.
You need to be flexible to get back there anyway.
Reach it.
But on the bathroom line, how do we feel about water closets? Like having a separate area for that?
Yes.
So that's what you were just talking about.
Yes.
Or were we talking about? Is that where you started talking about? Anyways.
She's talking about wet rooms, like one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Shower with the tub inside of it.
Okay.
Water closet, for all of you who do not know what that is a separate room specifically for your toilet.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
Mm-hmm.
You're not stinking up the whole bathroom.
Yep.
You have
Privacy.
a little bit more privacy. Like I could still brush my teeth while he's in there or vice versa. And
Can I just say something? Okay, this is kind of on topic, a little off topic. How do all you women feel about your men who have their cell phones in the bathroom? Because you know what? How they have the doors that open and close that turn the lights on automatically. I feel like if there was a system to where you had like a little monitor of a TV on the wall inside of a water closet, they would never leave the toilet room.
no kidding. Seriously. No kidding, right? Okay, but let's be honest. We're all guilty of that, right? It's not just
for sure.
Like everybody brings their phone to the bathroom.
Yeah, but how convenient would it be also to have like a little monitor of a TV in there? That sounds horrible. But
I'm
it could kind of
really
be cool.
quick, though. I'm like in and out of there. I don't want to be sitting there until my butt cheeks fall asleep,
But it'd be a great time to catch up on the news or, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get it. That's a cool idea. Cool concept. I actually did a shower once where they put a shaving mirror and built it into the tile. And then I did like a chair rail molding or a pencil liner all the way around the mirror. So he could literally shave in there.
That's cool.
It was cool. That's what they wanted. And it was
like
awesome.
that.
I should have taken better pictures of that because that was a really cool, unique, different thing. Because a lot of guys do want to shave in there and they don't have a mirror. So
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And there's not hair all around the vanity. I mean, that's something my man does that it just grinds my gears.
What really grinds my gears? Yeah, for sure. So that's a good one. Definitely the water closet. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would be a total must have for me if I built.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have one more thing. Talking about bathrooms.
Sure.
A new product that we have from Schluter Systems, which I'm super excited to use. It's been around for a long time before they had it as their own package deal, but recessed niches inside of your shower that have their own LED lights.
That light up. Yes.
Yes.
I think those are so cool. Again, like sometimes you just don't want to have that bright light on above your shower when you're taking a shower. It's kind of fun to, I don't know. Do you guys ever shower like where the lights are turned down and you just have like a night light on or something.
Yes.
It's so relaxing, especially if you have a headache. She's looking at me like, no,
I love light, bright showers.
Okay. So, but I think that would be really cool to set that ambiance again and just go shower with just the niche lights on and maybe your vanity lights on or something. That's
or
cool.
like one little disc light that's in the ceiling above the shower on a dimmer.
Yes.
With the niches.
Set the mood. Red lights. Just kidding.
Whoa.
No.
Okay, different subject.
Yeah.
No. So then I wanted to really go into, I was talking about these stairways. Yeah, the stairways, because we just did a really cool railing in here like I was talking about earlier, but instead of like the cable railing, how do you guys feel about the cable railing still? Is it still a thing?
Yes.
Is it still popular? I do really like them too. They're sleek, but I also like to mix like the wood tones like we've done here, depending on the style of the home. And not have all the little sculptured spindles that they used to have too.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of like individual spindles, and I know like the wrought iron was really, really big and that kind of thing, but I love the mixture of the wood tones. I think cable is going to be around for a really long time, especially now like we're in the lakes area. It's kind of something that has a nod to the nautical contemporary feel. It's been used a lot more on interior homes. It used to be like only exterior, and I feel like recently it's been brought into the inside of people's homes.
It's so sleek.
It's super sleek.
And people are definitely concentrating more on their staircases now.
Yeah.
They're thinking about their staircases more now than ever. Whether it's solid wood treads that they're doing or, carpet, but a really cool railing, or just the floating stair treads.
Yes, those are so
People are
cool.
putting a lot more money and effort into how their staircase is going to look. And I like that because it does make a big difference.
It does.
Another thing too, if you're not doing a floating staircase, is an innovative way to incorporate some storage, because we all know if you have a standard construction stairway, you have that little room underneath your staircase, and it's like, okay, what do we do with this? Is it storage, or do we make something cool out of it? I've seen where people actually make like a wine cellar.
Yes,
and they have a glass panel
triangle
kind
of shape, and
yes,
or building drawers in that space.
Yes.
Yep.
I believe that's awesome.
I believe Lana, who is also going to be building a house, is going to be incorporating some kind of storage like that under her stairs
that's
as
so
well.
Smart.
Yeah.
So smart. Because you can never have enough storage. And we're seeing more and more of that in new construction homes too. Is storage.
Innovative ways to add some
Whether
storage.
it's in your garage like we just did, or under your stairs like Roxanne just said, but or the walk-in pantry we just talked about. These are all different ways of storage, right?
Mm-hmm.
That people are getting more or needing more and more of, or finding clever ways to do it.
Have you guys seen on the TikTok or whatever it may be, where there are islands?
The TikTok.
The TikTok. I don't have a TikTok, so I don't know how you actually say that. But where islands, the countertop pushes, and then there's like a secret passageway.
Yeah, I
have
oh
too.
My gosh.
That's so cool.
That's the
really
coolest
cool.
thing ever.
So what she's saying is there's like a little door on the side of the island that you don't know is there, and you can open it up, and down below might be like a separate little bar area or wine cellar
speakeasy.
or little speakeasy kind of a feel. That's cool. That's really cool. Those hidden passageways are awesome. We just had that at another client's house. The bookcase. It was a bookcase, and you wouldn't even know. And you open it up, and you walk in, and it's a big game room, family room area. So you don't even know it's there unless you push a specific book.
Yes.
So cool.
Well, a lot of like new construction, there's so much, requirements needed for like storage and bedrooms and bathrooms and so on. But if you can have a little bit of whimsy, and you have somebody who's like interested in creating more of an interest factor with you and helping you kind of create the ideas that you've always thought of, like as a kid. Like for me, if I had a hidden storage room or like a hidden storm room or something like that would just be amazing.
And people are being more and more creative. Like people are really taking this home and like tailoring it to their needs, and more than ever, more than just building a basic house and moving in. It's like, what can we do that nobody else has done, or what can we do that would be fun and make our life more joyful for living in this space, like this separate game room, family room, or all these hidden areas.
I think that we should touch back on the garage and what people are doing. They're finishing their garages. You're having a drywall ceiling and drywall walls, epoxy floor coatings.
Garages are huge.
They are
now in new construction homes, because it's like a whole nother level of living space.
Yeah.
Yes.
For families to be able to use, and people to just be able to hang out in. Like people are putting games if they have a big enough, like, ping pong tables or bars.
Yeah.
It's just a whole nother living space. So actually, I want to say, like, if you guys have a garage that's big enough to turn into extra living space, we have a pretty small home, but by doing what we did with our personal garage, it's like we added an extra 600 square feet onto our house by finishing this garage. You back the car out, put some tables and chairs out there and turn on some music, or we put a TV out there, and it's a whole nother living space.
Yeah. I think in Minnesota, especially because we have such cold, barren winters here, like having a heater in your garage is going to just make your life so much better, honestly. And then having, like, if you don't have heated floors like Sky did, you added a heater inside of your garage, so now it's comfortable.
Yeah.
And whenever you're getting in and out and with the kids and everything in the morning, like, it's just more cozy. And whenever you want to, you can create that intimate space for your guests and also have the extra square footage where you're not making the mess inside of your house.
And the epoxy floors, we do epoxy floors here at Design to Sell, and we've been doing quite a bit of them because it's been such a popular thing, and it really finishes it off. When I got that epoxy floor down, it's like, I feel like I can just walk out there in bare feet or socks now.
Yeah. How much more time are you spending in the garage?
Totally. Before I would be like, ew, I don't want to walk out there.
Yeah.
It's this gross
the
concrete,
bare minimum.
The dirty concrete, you know.
Yeah.
Now it's like having a legitimate, like, nice floor.
Yeah.
Night and day difference. Brighten it up too. For sure. That's a good one.
Going up from, you know, the floor and everything, the bonus rooms and stuff people are putting above their garage, like whether it's extra living space, maybe a gym, a fun place for the kids to hang out. I think we've seen that a lot.
Totally. Yeah, people are utilizing that much more space in their home.
I think home gyms is a huge thing. I've done a couple of them.
Yeah.
With the rubber flooring, actually, where people actually do, like, instead of carpet tile, it's like carpet rubber. And that's super, super fun to just, you know, not have to leave your house to have the amenities of having something that you can, you know, interact with your kids or just have a healthy lifestyle. But what they also did is had an area for their daughter with the same kind of flooring because they did gymnastics. So that was like their bonus area. And I was like, oh, that's so clever. I would have never
really
thought
cool.
of that. Yeah.
So cool. Again, tailoring it all to your personal needs. And so let's do a little trivia question here. If you guys were going to build a home, what's one thing in your home, just one thing, out of everything that we've just talked about, that you would be an absolute must-have, that you could live without? Absolute must-have, out of everything we just talked about. There's a lot of things we just talked about that are new construction homes, and ideally we'd like to have them all. But let's just say that our budget only allowed us to have one of those things. What would it be?
Hidden pantry that was a full walk-in pantry with all the amenities.
Okay.
Gotta have that.
I think I do not cook. So the kitchen, I mean, I would love a nice kitchen, but I think master bathroom and closet would be my biggest thing. Like a really nice, spacious master bedroom and master bathroom and master closet.
I'd kill for that too, but I got to be with Roxanne on that one. A walk-in hidden pantry for extra storage and throwing dirty dishes.
Yeah.
I don't have a pantry at all right now. So, I mean, that would be like...
Mine is tiny.
I would be hanging out in there all by myself.
Yeah.
Mine's like 2 feet wide. And it's like legitimate, like totes. I had a nice pantry at one point, but, you know, give and take, right?
Yeah.
Every move you make. So, anything else anyone wants to talk about as far as new construction trends?
What about smart home technology? I think that's a major thing.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yes.
And surround sound.
Yeah.
Surround sound.
Security cameras.
The speakers. Security
yes.
cameras.
People are doing more and more of that. And more people are starting to see the importance of it. Because even in here, when we got the surround sound, when we got the cameras, when we got the TVs and everything, I can't live without that now. Yeah. Like, I'm legitimately trained that I can't function when we don't have the music going in here. It's so awkward.
And you really want to think about that in the early stages.
Absolutely. You want to wire it in too, because then you have it all the time.
Yes. And you could wire it in and then do it later if you wanted to. But I will say the cameras, I think, is a huge factor, because if you're going to hardwire it in, you don't have the susceptibility to people hacking it like you would do if it were like a Wi-Fi program. That's something always to be aware of. It's always going to work. It works off of your high-speed internet, that kind of thing. So you could be on vacation and you could be monitoring, like, my cleaner's here or my kids are getting home from school, or just to make sure that you're on top of stuff.
It's scary not to have cameras on your own.
It's scary. Yeah. But I will say, people who come into Design to Sell and see our monitors, we have probably like 8 cameras. They're like, holy moly, this is like Fort Knox over here.
And there's a lot of times I'll check them at night too. I'll just pull up the cameras on my phone and check them at night, because let's face it, we're on the north side. And
we're on the north side.
We've had some incidences, thankfully not for our own building, but you know, But yes, cameras and safety and all that means a lot, and the surround sound, and I mean it's just all things to think about.
And they have apps now, you know, you can control your lights, your floor heat, your window treatments. I mean, all kinds of new stuff you can do.
So cool. Yes, absolutely. That's a good one to think about. So, well, thank you guys so much for watching us here at the Design Duo with Letesha today. We all hope that you had a great Christmas and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.